Hi everyone, welcome to Digital Notes Hub. This platform is for computer lovers. Here you will get all information related to computer. The basics of computer series is going on as you've seen in thumbnail. Is a third part of this series. If you have not watched the previous parts of this series, then I would suggest you to firstly watch that parts and then continue with this one. So for the link of previous parts, you can click on the icon that is above in this video, or you can check out the description box. After watching this video, you will have a great piece of content. So let's get started with today's video. So today you're gonna learn about the components of computer. Basically, there are two components of computer: hardware components and software components. Hardware components are physical components and we can touch and see these components, whereas software components are programs are a set of instructions. All operations of a computer are done by programs. So firstly we will discuss the hardware components of a computer, and after that we will continue with software components of a computer. Basically, hardware components, there are six types of hardware components in a computer system. That is motherboard, control unit, input devices, output devices, storage devices, and peripheral devices. Let's brief discuss about the hardware components of a computer system. Motherboard. All the boards of a computer are connected to this board. That's why it is called as a motherboard. Motherboard is also known as system board. You can see in this picture that how motherboard of a computer looks like. There are lots of components which are placed on motherboard like CPU chip, memory chip, RAM ROM, input output controller, expansion slots, and number of logic circuits are placed on motherboard. So our next component is CPU. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. CPU consists of two parts, control unit and ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. CPU is also called as a brain of a computer of the computer. CPU is responsible for execution of programs. Whatever instruction that we give to a computer is processed by a CPU. So the entire work gets done by a CPU. CPU is in the form of a chip, and this chip is placed on a motherboard. So there is two parts of a CPU. First, control unit and arithmetic and logic unit. Control unit control the machine cycle of a computer, and machine cycle consists of four functions. Let's discuss about the four functions of a machine cycle: fetch, decode, execute, and store. Fetch means getting an instruction from a main memory main memory, and decode, after fetching instruction, control unit translate it into computer commands. And executing is when control unit gets instruction from a main memory, and after then it convert it into computer commands, and the processing of a command is called as execution of an instruction. And after executing the instruction, results are stored into a main memory, and this function is called as store. So our next component of central processing unit is arithmetic and logic unit. In short, we can say ALU. This part is also used to execute the instructions and computer commands, but ALU only perform arithmetic and logical operations. The operation may include additions, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And these are the arithmetic operation, and logical operations are AND, OR, and NOT. If you give any arithmetic and logical command to a computer, then it is processed by a arithmetic and logical unit. So our next component is input devices. How we can give instruction to a computer? Just think that how we can give instruction to a computer. And answer is input devices. Input devices are used to enter the input into a computer. It can be in the form of data, audio, video, text, graphics, and any kind of input. And there are various examples of input devices like keyboard, mouse, pointing device, scanner, and light pens. These devices convert input that we give to a computer into a language of computer. As you can see in this picture, these are the examples of input devices. Now, output devices. The function of output devices is just reverse of input devices. As we have discussed that input devices are used to give input to a computer, but the function of output device is just reverse of input devices. These devices are used to get results from a computer. So it converts the results which is in the computer language into a human understandable form so that we can understand the result and make decisions accordingly. So how we can get results from a computer? So it's with the help of output devices we can get results from a computer. Some of the examples of output devices are speakers, monitors, LED display, printer, plotters, and projectors, as you can see in this picture. So coming to next hardware component, that is memory devices. So memory, what is a memory? Memory means storage. So these storage devices are called as memory devices. As you have as we have discussed, computer takes instruction with the help of input and give result with the help of output devices. So just think where are these instructions and results are stored. So answer is memory devices. Memory devices are used to store instructions, programs, and results. We can classify memory devices mainly into three parts, that is primary memory, secondary memory, and cache memory. Here we will discuss in brief about these memory devices, but in the upcoming parts of this series we will discuss in detail about the memory devices. So primary memory is also called as a main memory. Primary memory holds only those instructions on which computer is currently working. Primary memory is divided into two parts: RAM, that is read only memory, RAM, that is random access memory, and ROM, that is read only memory. Secondary memory, it is also called as external memory. The speed of secondary memory is slow than main memory. For permanent storage, secondary memory is used. CPU directly cannot access these memory devices, and the types of memory devices are secondary memory devices are magnetic tape, magnetic disc, optical disc, and flash memory. So our next memory, that is cache memory. The memory which is very nearest to the CPU is called as cache memory. All the recent instructions are stored in cache memory. So our last component of hardware, that is peripheral devices. These devices are not part of computer architecture, but these are attached to the computer. These devices expands the capability of a computer. Based on our requirement, we can attach peripheral devices to a computer. Like printers, scanners, microphone, and webcams are some examples of peripheral devices. Let's suppose you want to record your voice, so you can attach a microphone, which is a peripheral device to a computer. Till now we have discussed the hardware components of a computer. Now we are going to discuss the software components. Firstly, what is a software? A software is a set of instructions and software directs computer's processor to perform specific operation. So there are mainly three types of a software, that is system software, application software, and utility software. System software are low-level programs. These software interact with the computer at a very basic level. Examples of system software are operating system, assembler, compiler, and interpreter are the examples of system software. Next is application software. Application software are also called as user programs. These software do real work for a user, like word processor, spreadsheets, and database management system. Microsoft Office all falls under the category of application software. And next component of is utility software. To analyze, configure, and maintain a computer, utility softwares are used. Like antivirus is an example of utility software. Antivirus are used to analyze the performance of a computer and to configure the various bugs, and it will help us to maintain our computer system. So antivirus is an example of utility software. So that's all for today's video. I hope this will help and this will add some value in your life. If you like this video, then thumbs up and share with your friends. And if you think it is useful, and do not forget to subscribe this channel for more useful videos. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in comment section. You can also do visit on my website, that is www.digitalnoteshub.com. Stay tuned for next parts of basics of computer series.